Thank you, Mr. Speaker. First, allow me to congratulate you. I did that in your absentia, and I want to take this opportunity to support the motion of the debate concerning the legislative proposal to amend the Constitution to anchor the NGCDF and GAF Senate Oversight Fund, Economic Stimulus and Empowerment Fund in the Constitution. Mr. Speaker, it is necessary to understand the basis on which the drafters of the Act had in mind. We know that its sole intention was to iron out regional imbalances brought about by political patronage, and something that it has achieved immensely, Mr. Speaker. So far, I would say CDF, NGCDF and GAF has done so much. It has brought a lot of balance, and I believe that members of parliament who are present here know the much it has done. It has actually done. Mr. Speaker, sir, the impact that it has made is immense and cannot be swept under the carpet, Mr. Speaker, sir. And maybe to highlight just but a few. NGCDF, Mr. Speaker, in the education sector has seen many students through school, and I believe some of them are here. Those who come from humble backgrounds, they have received bursaries, Mr. Speaker, and even now many of our people, many of the students and even their parents are calling us, asking to be, when the bursary would actually be dispersed for them to enable the students be in school. So I would actually say that it has done so much. Not to forget, Mr. Speaker, the infrastructural facilities in schools. Mr. Speaker, sir, in the county governments do much on the lower part of schools, that is the ECD, but secondary and primary schools facilities are done by the CDF, NGCDF, Mr. Speaker, and that one has done great work. To add on that, Mr. Speaker, for the GAF, it has done so much. Women empowerment and projects that are done by NGC and GAF is so much, Mr. Speaker. Not to forget the table banking for the many of our women. It has actually encouraged most of them. It has put food on the table for many of them. And Mr. Speaker, sir, that is the more reason I am supporting this motion, to make sure that we have more of these bursaries, we have more of the facilities, we have women empowered, we have the marginalized groups, Mr. Speaker, the vulnerable groups. Mr. Speaker, today is the Children's Week starting, and I believe the children being the part of the marginalized, the elders, the widows, out of the GAF, Mr. Speaker, many of them have benefited. Not to forget the Mr. Speaker, sir, people living with disabilities or enabled otherwise, they have also benefited from the same. And Mr. Speaker, we have even NHIF being paid for by the GAF and even the bursaries, and the NGCDF, Mr. Speaker. So for that case, I would support the motion and say that this should be anchored in the Constitution, Mr. Speaker. So I want to support this motion, and I would request the House that we support it and let it be anchored in the Constitution. This has also enabled many of our members in the community to have less arambes, Mr. Speaker, because this one has supplemented part, bursaries has supplemented part of it. Mr. Speaker, talents have been nurtured through the GAF and the NGCDF, Mr. Speaker, and I would support the motion. And thank you so much, Mr. Speaker.